Hello everyone, my name is Alex with the Game Changers. Today we're going to be talking about the Google Stadia and how perhaps it's going to affect the gaming landscape overall. So, what is the Google Stadia? It was announced by Google at a large presentation, and what they showed off is essentially a cloud-based system with no physical box and technical specs that rival the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and in fact may be more powerful than both of those systems combined, capable of up to 10.7 teraflops. What does that mean for latency issues? What does that mean for input? One big thing to note is the controller. Google has released images and allowed people to test this controller that they have made, and it has 4 face buttons, 2 of which seem to be a Google Voice activated assistance, and the other one seems to be a share button, and then the 2 additional ones seem to be maybe a start and select button of some sort, and then there's a center button with the Stadia logo on it, and I imagine that's to power the system on or something. We'll learn more about that, but otherwise it has the joysticks positioned in the PS4 style, has all of the modern inputs, and you will also be able to play with any USB input device as well. So that's very cool. Google has stated that at launch it will be 4K 60 frames per second capable, streaming through any device that you already own, and will be able to very quickly save your game state so you can transfer essentially where you are in a game from one device to another very quickly, which is kind of cool. You can pick up and play anywhere you are as long as you have an internet connection. And again, that's going to be the biggest issue, is how strong of an internet connection do you need? What will performance look like with a weak internet connection? And what will performance look like with a strong internet connection? How will it scale based on that? I think the biggest thing we should talk about is how on earth can a company of any kind stream a 4K game at 60 frames per second over internet when connections are so vastly different from one another. Google has promised that this system will be flexible and it will evolve over time, which in a lot of rumors and a lot of forums, you can see that people have guessed that that is what the case will be if a cloud-based system ever came out. So that seems to be what Google is going for here. How can Google accomplish this? And something I'm asking myself, and maybe a lot of people are asking after that presentation, is are we ready for a cloud-based system? Physical media will be no more with the Google Stadia, and you will also not technically own these games. You will be renting a license, essentially, for as long as you play the game. And some people may have an issue with that. I am one of the people who collect physical copies of everything. I have stacks of games all the way back to the NES, and I love them. Sometimes I look back and just, admire them for what they are. It's a really special thing to have a physical game and all of its production value within a physical copy. So that's something. A lot of the questions that are still to be answered, and there is some information about this I'm looking up on my phone, is some of the latency issues. They admit that that's going to happen, but they have taken a lot of steps to make it as little as possible. One of the really interesting things I read today was that multiplayer will be on its own dedicated server, as it should be, I think, for best performance, and that will provide the capability of having more players on screen at a time, and it'll also allow them to monitor cheaters and prevent that from happening. Another wonderful thing, and I think gamers can really get behind this particular aspect of the Stadia, is that things like patches and game updates and downloads will be handled invisibly to the gamer. So one thing that I think many owners of the PS4 and the Xbox One can attest to is how annoying it is waiting for a massive update or a 30-minute patch to a game or a download that you didn't expect to have to do when you're just trying to boot up a game and start playing. So Google has promised that things like that will not be present in the Stadia. And then the last thing we'll touch on today is how is it going to affect Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft? Because they're the big players. And the big question we have here is there room for Google? And can they be successful in this landscape where these three companies have been the masters since, 2001, where Microsoft joined the arms race of gaming, if you will? I think Nintendo in this situation is in the most unique position, as they may have struck gold with the Nintendo Switch, but it is possible that the novelty of it will wear off over time, and the graphical capabilities of it may become stagnant and look a little bit old in a few years. So, what are they going to do to future-proof the Switch? Are they going to do a Nintendo Switch Pro? Are they going to do a Switch 2? Something like that. What are they going to do? It's hard to know. All we know currently is that the Nintendo Switch is thriving and doing very well. And we've just learned that Microsoft and Nintendo have formed a partnership. And we can see that in the fact that Cuphead is coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is wonderful, and I'm really excited to play that. Then how will Microsoft and Sony on their own handle this information? How will they respond? They seem to be competing more closely against one another. Will they react with their own semi-flexible cloud-based system where it's partially a physical box and partially a cloud-based system? Will they have some extra offerings that are cloud-based as well as physical offerings? Will downloading games and being completely online all the time be the future? I just don't know. And I guess we will just have to see. So I would like to know what you guys think. I really hope we can have a great discussion. I'm going to be very active in the comment section on this video. I'm going to be checking it frequently. Please tell me what you think about the Google Stadia, and tell me how you think Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony will respond to this in this landscape where Google is coming in full force trying to, move into the gaming landscape. What are we looking at in 2019 and 2020? It looks to be a very interesting couple of years coming up. So I'd love to hear what you think. Again, my name is Alex with the Game Changers. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe, and check out some of our other videos that we've been posting lately. We have a new video every single week, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Thank you so much.